Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new video. So today I'm actually doing something that a few of you have already done. This is a tier ranking video of all of the Sims 4 packs. Now I don't own all of the packs, that is why there's already some of the packs on the screen ranked. I'll quickly do a quick explanation as to why I've ranked them as that. Now the reason why I am ranking them is because there are obviously reasons as to why I haven't bought them yet and why some of them are good. Now the good ones I kind of class as the ones that I might buy next, and the ones that are absolute cash grab are the ones that I probably will never buy unless they are severely reduced in price. So anyway, we'll get into the video, we'll get into the ranking. Now obviously everyone's opinions are different. You may not agree with me, I may not agree with you, but I'd like to know what you think. So I'm going to link this tier ranking that maker that I've got in the description down below so you can do it yourself. It's quite fun actually, it makes you think, so try it out and see what you think and let me know, tag me in it. I'd like to see yours as well. So the ones that I've already got here on the screen, now I will mention that this tier ranking doesn't have Discover University or Tiny Living, so I will do them at the end, so don't remind me to do them and I will, but I'm going to quickly explain the ones that I don't own already as to why I don't own them and why I may buy them next, and then we'll get into the ones that I actually do really know about. So obviously we'll talk about the ones that I maybe don't own and don't want to own. So absolute cash grab, the tier that we've got at the bottom here. Now the first one that I put in was fitness stuff. In terms of the concept, not interested. I think your Sims can get fit without it. I think the build and buy stuff is pretty pointless, so that's why it's there. Party stuff, again, I think the cast items are pretty good, but actually cast items are pretty good, so I might put it up there. But the actual build and buy stuff and the gameplay I just don't think really lives up to its name. Again, I think you can have a good party without it. My First Pet stuff is generally, I think it's not actually that bad of a pack, but I think it's a cash grab, and it's claimed as a cash grab due to the fact that you have to own cats and dogs first. I think that's a bit of a rip-off. And the spooky stuff pack, again, you can definitely live without this. You can have Halloween as a holiday with seasons, and if you buy seasons as well, a lot of the build and buy stuff you can already get in seasons, so why would you buy spooky stuff? Why? Next up we've got romantic garden stuff, vintage glamour. I mean, they're just packs that I'm not that interested in and you can definitely do without. I think some of the cast buy items are pretty nice, but yeah, there's not really an incentive for me to go and buy these packs. Now the reason why I've put Realm of Magic and Vampires in this tier is because I don't like the occult stuff. I really, it just doesn't relate to me at all. Realm of Magic I think was quite an exciting idea to me, but from what I've seen of the gameplay of it, it just doesn't look worth my money, and I don't think I would play with it at all. Same with the vampires. The fact that the vampires kind of interact with your Sims and they're not limited to just that world, I think is a bit of a shame, because I don't want vampires interacting with my Sims. I'd want to just play it in its own world and have it as that. So that's why they're in the bad tier, but they're not a cash grab because they're actually, I think some of the build and buy items are pretty good and the gameplay itself looks pretty decent, and if you're into that stuff then I would definitely buy it, but personally it's just not for me. Next up, the average stuff is just kind of stuff that I might buy in the future if it is discounted. Movie hangout stuff and backyard stuff, I think some of the build and buy stuff looks really good. In terms of gameplay, I don't think it would really add that much, but it may add a bit more than, you know, just having the build and buy stuff when you're actually buying the stuff pack. Now Machino stuff, I'm not interested in the cast items. I think that cast items aren't really my cup of tea, but I really like the fact that it could potentially increase my photography in the game, and also the windows look amazing. Everyone uses the Machino stuff windows, and some of the build and buy stuff looks really good too. Now I've put cool kitchen stuff right at the top in good, because I actually think I'm going to buy it next. After reviewing some of the build and buy stuff, cast stuff, it looks really good. Again, I probably wouldn't buy it for its gameplay, but I think I would buy it more for the fact that the build and buy stuff looks really nice, and I think it would fit in well with the kind of themes that I do in the builds that I've already got. So I think I actually might buy that one next. This video has convinced me to do so. But anyway, that's all the packs that I don't own, so we'll get into the ones that I do own, and I'll do the ones that are not on here right at the end. So this is alphabetical order. So the first one we've got is Bowling Night Stuff. Now I'm going to put this in average. I think Bowling Night Stuff is a pretty okay pack. I quite like the cast items, I quite like the build and buy stuff items, but the actual gameplay itself, and I think the reason why a lot of people would buy this stuff pack is for the gameplay. The gameplay is quite glitchy, similar to Die Now in that it takes hours for your sim to do even one game of bowling. So that's what lets it down for me, but I do like the pack and I do use it on occasion, and I think it's a nice venue for your sims to go out to as well, even as a family or just with your sims friends. I think it's quite nice for that. Next we've got City Living. Now City Living I'm actually going to put in good. I like the kind of apartment style. I think it makes it look really realistic, sorry. I mean, myself, I live in a flat, so it's quite nice to have that reflected in the Sims. The apartments themselves are okay. I think they're pretty good, but there are a few issues in that kind of the people that your Sims will live around in the other flats can sometimes be quite annoying, and the whole idea of having neighbours is quite annoying, but to be fair, that's quite realistic as well. So yeah, City Living I actually really like as an expansion pack. Now Get to Work was actually one of the first ever packs that I bought, and definitely the first expansion pack that I bought, and the reason why I bought it was due to the fact that it added those 3 new careers in, so the scientist career, the doctor's career, and also the detective career or the policing career. And I actually really like the idea that you can go with your Sims to work. I think that's obviously a new feature that they added in, and I quite like that idea. I know some people find it a bit annoying, but I quite like it. It's just a shame that those kind of ideas and those careers can't be more integrated into the game itself. It's just a shame that like the hospital is just a standalone thing just for the career. Like for example, if your sim gets ill, they can't just go to the hospital, or your sim can't get arrested. I know that the English simmer, Molly, she mentioned it in her video recently. So yeah, it would have been better if Get to Work had that feature. But in terms of a pack, it's not bad, it's not great either, so it's just going to go in that average tier. But I think if you want more careers, it's definitely a pack to get. Get Together. Get Together is probably my least favourite expansion pack. I don't like it. I don't like the mixture between modern and old. I just think it's a bit pointless, really. So it's going to go in bad. I don't think it's an absolute cash grab, but it's going in bad. Next we've got Island Living. Now Island Living was one of the most recent expansion packs to come out, obviously before Discover University. It's just a shame that they couldn't go further with the gameplay, and I know a lot of people have spoken about this. I think the cast items are pretty good, I think the build and buy items are pretty good, and I think they follow the theme that the Sims creators were going for in terms of the kind of island nation culture and that kind of thing. But yeah, the gameplay was just way off. I don't like the introduction of mermaids to the game. I think it kind of ruined the pack for me in a way, but the world is absolutely beautiful. So I don't know whether to put it in bad or average. I don't really play it that much. I have been playing it fairly recently, so I'm going to put it in average, but I would say it's probably between average and bad. I would say Get Together is probably better, but that's just my opinion. Next we've got Jungle Adventure. I actually really like Jungle Adventure. I like the cast items, I like the build and buy items, I love the world. I can never say it, Salvadorada. I always want to say El Salvador, but I know that's not right, and that is an actual country. But Salvadorada is actually a really beautiful world. But I just think the kind of jungle adventure aspect and the reason why this pack was created doesn't really do it justice. Doesn't really live up to it. I think it's just kind of you do it once and that's it, which is a shame. But the archaeological skill is quite good, and yeah, it's a great place to take your Sims on holiday. So I'm gonna go for good, I would say. Next we've got the kids room stuff pack. It's a pretty average pack. It's got some really nice items in it, but in terms of gameplay it doesn't really add anything to the game. So yeah, that's going to go in average, and I'm actually going to skip ahead and put toddler stuff there as well, just for the same reasons. Next we've got laundry day stuff. Now I know that laundry day stuff features quite highly in a lot of other people's ranking systems, but recently I've just been being a bit frustrated with laundry day. I recently put on a Facebook group related to The Sims. Does anyone else find it annoying that the washing machine and the dryer always break down? Because they do, and I understand that you can go and upgrade them and that, but you have to have a handiness skill of 8, 9 or 10. I don't really want to cheat my Sims handiness skills, so I don't do it. But in terms of the actual laundry day interaction, it just gets a bit boring after a while. The cast items, build and buy items, pretty standard. So yeah, it's going in average. It's not one of my favourite packs, I've got to say. Get Famous is an okay expansion pack. It's nothing too exciting about it, I think. I think the celebrity idea was really nice, and I think that the whole system in which you can become a celebrity is actually really well done. But in terms of the other stuff that came with the pack, such as the world, the acting career, and the build and buy stuff, it's pretty bad. Like the kind of mix between like mid-century and ultra fancy furniture, it just doesn't really go together for me, and I don't really know why they chose like a kind of mid-century theme, like 60s, 70s items. So it's going to go in bad for me. It's not one of my favourites, and I don't actually play the celebrity thing too much, and also the acting career doesn't work anymore. A lot of people have said that, so it's going in bad, but it's not a cash grab, I don't think. I think you can still get a lot out of Get Famous even with those problems. Outdoor Retreat I think gets a lot of bad stick. I actually think it's an okay pack. Build and buy items aren't really that great, and cast items are actually pretty good. I quite like the cast items. The world itself is okay, and the gameplay itself is also alright, so I'm going to put it as average. It's not one of my favourites, but I do play with it, so I'm going to put it as average. Parenthood. One of my favourite packs of all time. It's going top tier. I mean, I just really think that you need this for realistic gameplay. It's just one of the best packs. I think obviously they could have gone further into it, they could have added a lot more features to it, but in general it's a really well executed pack, and I mean I use it all the time. I use the cast items all the time, I use the build items all the time, and the gameplay really adds, you can see it in every game that you play. So yeah, right at the top for me. Cats and dogs is next. I'm going to put that in good. I love the dogs, I love the cats. I think the world Britechester Brindleton Bay is really beautiful. It's kind of got that Scandinavian theme to it. In general, it's a beautiful pack, and who doesn't love dogs? Not really a cat person, but who doesn't love dogs? Next is Die Now. Again, a really interesting theme. A lot of people would love this theme, but if it would work. So it's going in bad. It's glitchy as hell, come on. Next we've got one of my other favourite packs, Seasons, right at the top for me. I think it adds so much to gameplay. I mean, as you can tell, every time you go into the game, the seasons affect your gameplay. Let's face it, you know, if it's a boiling day, your sims get affected. If it's a snowy day, sims get affected. But not even that, just the holiday system is really great. I think it was really well executed. And the build and buy stuff, cast items, fantastic. I use it in every build and I love it. And the gardening stuff as well, I use that crate all the time. So yeah, one of my favourite packs of all time. Spa Day is actually really high up for me. I would say it's good. I really like the gameplay. I love going to the spa. I think it's a really great date night option for your sims. The build and buy stuff is beautiful. I love the tiles, I love the wallpaper, I love the bathroom stuff. I think it's a really good pack. I don't think it gets enough credit. I really do. Next we've got Strangerville. Now this was controversial at the time because obviously it's more of a story pack. It's not one of my favourites. I don't particularly like it, and I think it's a bit of a cash grab. I never play it. Played it once, never played it again. So, and I don't use the cast or build and buy. So for me, it's a bit of a cash grab. Last up, we've got Perfect Patio stuff. Now for me, I actually really liked it when I bought it, and I bought it for the hot tub and the back yard stuff. That's the reason why I bought it. However, obviously with the latest edition of the hot tub in the 20th anniversary update, it's become pretty pointless because a lot of players I know bought Perfect Patio for the hot tub and for that gameplay. But in terms of whether I use hot tubs, not a lot, to be honest. I know it makes your gardens look great, but I don't actually use it that much. But I do like some the rest of the build and buy items, and the cast items are pretty good too. So I'm gonna put it in bad. I don't think it's quite a cash grab, but it's pretty bad in general, just because they brought out a hot tub fairly recently for free. But last up, I can't add them in here just now, but I'm gonna put Discover University was released late last year, I believe, and I would put it as good. I actually really like the gameplay of Discover University. I don't think it's too glitchy. There are a few problems with that, but generally I play it quite a lot, and a lot of my sims do go to university, and I don't actually mind playing it over and over again. So yeah, I'd put Discover University as good, and then last but not least, Tiny Living, I would put as average. I think the build and buy items are really nice. I use them quite a lot now, but the Tiny Living lot type, don't use it. Maybe I should play with it a bit more, but because I'm not using it an awful lot, I'm going to put it as average. So that's my ranking done. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I'd make any changes. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you would change anything yourself. And as I said, I'll put the description for this tier maker down below in the description. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I'll see you all soon.